So this is the Uber that I took, and I remember it very vividly because I knew where I was going. Hey guys, today I want to talk about how I went and bought my dream car, and this is an amazing topic and memory for me. It happened exactly 1 year ago. Yep, it's this one right here, and this is the first time I get into my personal Tesla. I've test driven them before, but this is the first time that that car was mine, and I cannot describe to you the feeling that I experienced that day. We are at one of the Tesla charging stations, or supercharging stations, where I have my car being charged right now. And I want to take this moment to talk about a little bit of how did I get my dream car and why did I choose this car in particular. My favorite car was Lamborghini Gallardo, which, from back in the day, and the car is amazing. I had the opportunity to drive it in Las Vegas, Nevada on a track, and it was amazing. I even drove a Ferrari there.
We're the Rock and Roll Man, tear this track up. Las Vegas, Exotics Racing, Lamborghini Gallardo. Upshift again. Stay on it. So there's the other Lamborghini Gallardo. Let's go get him, man. Rock and roll, pass off. Upshift. Back to the left, brake hard.
Unfortunately, the Ferrari was faster. Although it was the same horsepower, but that's besides the topic. I just love how this car looks. It just looks amazing. And the newer Lamborghinis also look amazing, but after I drove the MR2 for a while and I had two-seater, my dream car was not that dreamy anymore. Yeah, I still would maybe rent it in the future just to drive around for 2-3 days and experience, the thrill of driving a Lambo, but honestly, this car is as fast as a Lambo. And how I picked this car, the story goes back to 2016 when Tesla first unveiled Tesla Model 3. I've been wanting Tesla for a while at that time, Tesla Model S, which was insane amount of $80,000 or $70 or something of that range. And I was making about $22,000 a year at the time, which was so above my reach, it's not even funny. Now, in 2016, I put $1,000 down payment for a $35,000 vehicle. I think 2016 I was making maybe 30,000 now, but either way, I wanted the car. I'm like, this is it. I'll wait 2 years until 2018. I'll work a second job. I'll save extra money. I was on a whole different mindset than that I am now. Then 2 years passed and I started to learn. I was playing poker for a living and I started to learn that poker is a very active job. That's all it is. If the thing that you do, guys, cannot work without you or cannot make money without you being present, you just have another job. You don't have a business. So a little bit before 2018, I knew about passive income. I learned about passive income and started digging into real estate. In 2018, in March, I canceled my order for the Tesla Model 3, which was supposed to be delivered in April, which was about 2 to 3 weeks after the time that I canceled. So basically I canceled 2 to 3 weeks before the delivery date, and they reimbursed me for that $1,000. At this time I already had a job that I started to work so I can accumulate W2, so I can have a tax return and I can show W2 to the bank. So the plan was to work 2 years, but then in I think August, if I'm not mistaken, I found a bank that requires you to have just 1 year of tax return instead of 2, which most banks want 2 years. So I bought my first property that I still live in to this day in September 2018. Now I have 3 properties. I rent all of them out, even the one that I live in. Fast forward to 2021, where I actually pulled the trigger. Actually 2020 is when I pulled the trigger on Tesla Model 3. I was waiting for them to come up with the 2021 model, and the day they announced it, I had on my phone news that 2021 Model 3 is ready to buy. I already knew exactly what car I wanted, with the rims not white inside, so I can rent it out on Turo, so I can make money out of there. Maybe I'll make if I make $1,000 a month from this car on Turo, that's great. That's about 10 days that the car is not gonna be driven by me, which means that I'm gonna make the payment, the insurance, and set aside something for tires, because when I try to sell it, by the end of the year. So I decided that it is time for me to pull the trigger. I have 3 businesses already. Turo is Ford business. The car would pay for itself. This is how I kind of convince myself that even if I don't make enough money to pay for the car, but I do make enough money. I have 3 properties that are producing. I have ATM business that is producing, candy machines, coin pushers, claw machines. I have drop shipping business that I'm partnered in, and I have a W-2 job that I make pretty good amount of money. So I'm thinking, even if I cannot make the same $151 payment on this car, if I rented it on Turo for like 5 days, I'll make the car payment. So this is how I decided to do that. And also it is a big tax savings because I use the car for business, and all of those miles, like 8,000 miles that you see, the government would give me, it's not going to give me, but it's going to lower my tax bill with 57.5 cents for every mile I drove. So let's round it up to 60 cents. Imagine I drive 20,000 miles this year. This is $12,000 in tax savings. So basically, this is how I end up buying my dream car at the age of 34. I'm sure there's people who bought their dream car earlier, but I love it, and I really don't think you will ever buy another vehicle if you buy Tesla. I don't know if you need X, S, or 3. 3 is smaller, which is perfect for me. I love the way it looks. It is extremely fast. It has more things that I need. I'm sure I don't use all of the extras that it has. It is amazing. Tesla has done an amazing job, and I really love it that I am driving my favorite dream car when I'm young, instead of when I'm 6 years old and buy that 10-year-old Corvette that I've been dreaming about when I was a kid, you know, like most people do. So basically, I made sure I make enough money to support the vehicle, the payments for the vehicle. If I do not make enough money, I found a way how to make that money, that vehicle, to make me the money to basically pay for itself. And third, I made sure that tax-wise or business-wise it makes sense. Would I buy this car brand new if I did not get the business incentives? No, definitely no. The car is $57,000 and change, almost $60,000. I do not make enough money to afford a vehicle like that. The salary that I'm making, maybe I can afford a car for $5,000 cash, maybe 10, maybe. And those are the cars I've been driving so far. The MR2 was $5,000. The van that I bought was $5,500. I mean, I still have the van. If it did not make business sense, I would not pull the trigger on it. It's too expensive. I see a lot of my coworkers and friends, oh my God, I want a Tesla too, I want a Tesla too. You need to bust your ass, and you need to put things in perspective, and you need to make business decisions so you can afford to drive it. I know you want it. I want a Lamborghini too. I cannot afford it. By the way, there was a Lamborghini Gallardo 2006 that was $60,000, same as this vehicle. I did not buy it, and I bought this one, and I do not regret that for even one bit. So with all that said, guys, consider subscribing, hit the like button, leave me a comment, tell me what is your favorite car, and do you have a plan, and what is your plan of purchasing that dream car. And remember, sometimes dreams has to remain dreams. Maybe rent out your favorite car like I did with the Lambo, and just you know, enjoy it instead of buying it and then after 1 year you're like, I'm already over it. You should not be over your dream. Your dream should be always have like a special place in your heart. In this car, I honestly, for 3 months, I don't think I'll ever get like over it. It is amazing. It's more than I hoped for, and I just love the way it looks. I love it. Okay guys, today is almost exactly 1 year. Obviously I'm going to release the footage exactly on the 18th of December. Today is the 7th, so I recorded the video a little bit in advance, obviously, but it is the 7th of December, and I just want to tell you the age-old question: how much less or how much more do you spend on this vehicle? Because a lot of people ask me constantly the same question over and over again. Where do you charge? How do you go get to place to place? If you watch my whole channel, you know I go to from Jacksonville to Orlando, which is 2 hours, then to Cocoa Beach, which is another hour. So I do all that, and I stop one time to charge for like 10 minutes or so, or 12. But the bigger question is how much I'll spend on this car. Every month I get about $50 more in electricity. I cannot track exactly how much in electricity I pay because the outlet is right there behind me. I have an RV outlet, 240 volts. That cost me $500 to install with a licensed electrician. So That's it, 500 bucks, and you can charge your car at home. It charges for 30 miles an hour, which means when you come home after work and you plug the car stays at your house for about 10 hours every day. And honestly, right now, I've charged in the morning. I went to a couple of meetings. From 80%, the car is on 78. So it's not that big of a deal. Now, how much I spent on the car? Let me tell you. I have spent on other stuff $2,014. The majority of those other stuff is paint protection film, which is $1,250, and ceramic coating, that is $310. Other stuff that I spend is tire rotation, twice, $50 each. I have exactly, and I'll show that on the camera, 32,500 miles for 12 months, which is insane amount. What else have I spent is wipers, $53, dehumidifier, because the car got wet a couple times, it's $27, and tire replacement, $342, which is unfortunate because I had a flat tire. But without a flat tire, without the PPF that you don't have to do, without the cold ceramic coating, which you don't have to do, we're looking at the dehumidifier. It's kind of an optional. All I needed to spend on this car is $100 for 2 rotations and $53 for wipers. So for 1 year, you can get away with spending $150 on this luxury self-driving vehicle. Now, let's get to the business part of this. Why I bought the car. 32,500 miles. The car is used for business purposes, super overwhelming majority of the time. Let's say, I don't know the numbers by heart, but let's say 30,000 miles was for business purposes. We're gonna write 30,000 miles times 0.575, right? Okay. That means that I'm gonna get a $17,000 and change of deduction at the end of the year on my taxes. I paid $750 for the car for 12 months. I've paid $9,000. I'll make it even sweeter, okay? I paid $750 plus $200 for insurance, okay? It's a little bit less than that, but let's call it $200. You multiply that by 12 and you get $11,500. So I'm getting $17,000 deduction, and I actually am spending $11,000 and change for the year. Well, do you think it's a good business decision or not? That's up to you. Let's add to that $11,400. Let's add to that the whole $2,000 that I spent on PPF, on tire, on everything. So $13,500. Let's call it $13,500, and I'm getting $17,000 deduction. So what is that? $3,500 up. Also, if I decide to sell the car today, I can get about $48,000-$49,000 for the car. I owe on this car 42 grand. So because of the pricing of the used vehicles nowadays, you know how everything went up, you can actually get more money for this car. But I'm not gonna do that, and I'll tell you why right now. I was supposed to have 1,000 free miles from Tesla when I bought the car, but they actually charged me one time last December $5.40 for supercharging, and they have never charged me since then. You know, I'm not selling that car until they start charging me. I was thinking of selling this and buying the 2022 model, but I'm just not gonna do that. Why would I do that? Okay, let me show you here. Last charge, supercharging pilot is just 0, and it's just always been 0. Okay, real quick, let's just compare my car that was $57,000 to this Audi S5 that is similar price, similar horsepowers, and you can see here the MPG is 30 on a highway, and let's take 30 so we can make the case for this ICE vehicle. So a 30,000 mile trip with fuel efficiency of 30 miles a gallon. Gas right now in Jacksonville, Florida is $3.15. It will cost us $3,150. Compared to an electric vehicle where I pay 11 cents per kilowatt hour, my battery is 82 kilowatt hours. So if you multiply one by another, you get how much money I need to spend to travel 352 miles. Let's call it 350 for simplicity. Now, all of that is considering I charge only at home. And as you may know, about 25,000 miles, I think, are charging supercharging stations, which I've already told you.
I don't pay anything for that. But let's just compare if I've charged everything at home. So 30,000 miles, we're gonna divide by 350 miles because we wanna see how many tanks, quote unquote, of charging we need. That's 85.71 full tanks. Now we multiply that full tanks by $9.02 because that's how each tank cost us. So that's $773 for all 30,000 miles if we charge at home, compared to $3,150 if we had to put fuel. And again, that's not even scratching the surface of there's nothing to be fixed on electric vehicles. But I hope you make your decision, and that was informative.
All right, well, that's it for today, guys. This is my experience with my dream car. This is why I bought it. It was a business decision. Obviously, I really wanted to drive this car, but it was mostly business decision, and its numbers are working out fine. I projected 25,000 miles back in May, and as you can see, I'm on the 32,000 mile mark. And yeah, that's that. I hope you found that video informative and you get some ideas out of it. If you like that type of content, you know what to do. Hit like, sub, help me grow this channel. And remember, the goal is not to look rich, but to be rich. Keep hustling. See you next time.